The frame is constructed entirely out of computer panels. I just need to cut out all the holes. Howdy y'all, welcome to the DIY channel, or welcome back to the DIY channel. Whoa, it bends it in a lot. There we go, miles. I'm completely flat broke, so I'm just gonna do it the manual labor way. So the $10 bit is suffering. Look at that heat damage. Last one. Because I only shelled out for the cheap $10 step bit and not for the proper hole saw, it really bent these buttonholes and put huge amounts of burrs. So I just decided to grind them flat but leave the bends and curves, because it's actually made it like swaging. By having the curves between the buttons, it's actually strengthening the structure. Just like that. That's how you get another 4 cuts out of it. You take it back and say it was By mounting the start and select buttons on the side, this will be great for playing pinball. I want to be able to hide a projector in here, so I'm going to cut out the back and then also cut out the floor so that I can mount some fans for better airflow. Now that most of the holes are cut out, it's time to start paneling it in to get some real strength in this unit. By paneling in the back and the speaker boxes, it's going to act as cross bracing and give this unit a lot more strength and rigidity. I love the look of this side panel turned on its side. It gives it that shield-like appearance of strength and structure. Now with the frame completely rigid, I felt a lot safer to continue cutting without this thing wobbling around everywhere. It so happens that this gap on the side is the perfect size for a rack module, so I'm going to slap a 26 port LAN switch in here. So if I ever want to host a LAN, we can do it straight off the Servercade 9000. One of the most important things you have to do when you're building something like this is clean off all the rough edges left from the grinder. They are incredibly sharp, and you'll notice throughout this video there's a lot of tape and plasters that will be on my fingers, and just like working with any other metal, it gets sharp, you reach in the bin, didn't shave off one burr, and that's it. And it is razor. For the buttons and joysticks, you can get these super easy USB controllers. It's all just plug and play. And a few motherboard stands glued into this side panel, we'll be able to mount them up and we're ready to rip. Now that everything has been mocked up and ready to fit, it's time to give this thing a good grind and a sand and a clean. Make sure it is ready to paint. Give it the old brat brat with the rotary sander. Gotta love the air powered DAs, they really crank. They are dual action, so they don't stuff about. Look at this, 1 minute of 100 grit. This side is done. So to seal up all the gaps on the speaker boxes, I just filled them in with urethane seam sealer. Clean rag, Cripsol, wax and grease remover. Get a bit in the rag. Wear gloves. You can't touch bare metal with your skin. Once it's clean, we don't want to touch it again. Just keep wiping down until your rag is dry. Then get your dry rag and re-go over everything to wipe the Cripsol off with the grease. You really should wear a mask when you're doing this sort of stuff, or at least let your cameraman wear one. Sorry little Nate, hope you're all good the next day, bud. So we could spend hundreds of dollars on auto paint and do a big flash paint job, or we could just clear coat it and leave it looking like something out of Fallout. With a thin coat. Let that tack off. And then hit it again with the second coat. I only had just enough paint.
The boy JD was a friend of mine till I caught him in my car trying to steal an Alpine.
Now all I have to do is bolt on my junkyard gaming PC side panel, hook up all the wires, slot it together and power it on. You can set the beep on your multimeter to know if there's a connection. This way I worked out which way's up and which way's down, and it doesn't matter which wire goes on which pin. There's no polarity for switches. By grounding out the green wire, we trick the power supply to turn on. even though it's not plugged into a computer motherboard. And now that will mean all the yellow wires will be putting out 12 volt and the red wires will be putting out 5, and you connect to the black for your earth, and then you can run as many circuits as you want up to the rated wattage of the power supply. This power supply will just power everything on this level, like the fans and the joysticks and the car stereo. This 600 watt power supply is plenty enough for that. We could even run a sub as well. Moment of truth. Unfortunately, I didn't get the footage of clipping the computer on, as I was about 5 hours before I had to fly out back to France. Water-cooled GTX 1080 and a water-cooled 8-core Phenom Black. Check this on. She's starting to show her age in Windows 10. Fans are all spinning. So I'm thinking about putting Windows 7 as this computer's main operating system. Supplies on. Stereo's on. What operating system would you guys put on it? Let me know in the comments what you reckon. And if you've enjoyed this build so far, smash the like button. Console's power on. Hit the subscribe if you want to see this thing finish. Well, that one doesn't have a light, but it should be working. And here's us tinkering around making sure it was all working. And then we can change channel. PlayStation 1. That easy. Sega, PlayStation, Nintendo. And then computer. Hey, she's all working. Cheers for watching, everyone. Look at that. Peace out, have a good time, and I'll see you on the next one.